Hello and welcome to live Barclays Women's Super League coverage of Leicester City versus Arsenal from the King Power Stadium. The Foxes have lost all 4 of their WSL meetings with the Gunners by an aggregate score of 14-0. However, Jonas Edeval's side have lost 2 of their last 6 league matches on the road, which is as many as in their previous 23. And Willie Kirk, a very experienced manager for Leicester City, but he's lost his previous 8 games in the WSL against Arsenal. Deanne Rose, one of the players who has been brought back into the side today. Janice Cayman in the foreground there, another real experience from the Belgian international. But they are a team who are undoubtedly improving in the Women's Super League. This their 3rd season at the highest level, and they are heading at the moment for their highest ever finish. Of course, Jonas Edeval and Arsenal will always have the title on their minds, and they have the opportunity to move into 2nd place behind Chelsea with a win tonight. Vivianne Miedema is still on the bench alongside Beth Mead as she works her way back from a long-term injury. Alessia Russo, of course, will be leading the attack, but they are without Kim Little due to injury, which is a significant absentee. And these are the results so far this weekend. A big win for Manchester United. 5 different goal scorers as well. Liverpool came back late to draw at Tottenham. And one of the results of the season, Brighton winning at Manchester City. Lee Gwyn-min with a late winning goal there. Chelsea making short work of Everton, as they so often do. Sam Kerr among the scorers. And at the bottom, Aston Villa picked up their first victory, 2-0 at Bristol City, who are now bottom. Chelsea currently 4 points clear of Manchester United, but Arsenal will move up into 2nd place if they can win here this evening. And Leicester City are a team who have plenty of experience in the starting lineup tonight, with the return of Janice Cayman and Deanne Rose, 2 international footballers coming into this side. Josie Green and Missy Goodwin are the players who make way. And alongside the likes of Sophie Howard and Julie Thibault, there are players of undoubted quality. And of course, Katie McCabe offers real quality in the Arsenal team. 3 goals already this season. She's matched her total from the entirety of the previous campaign. Somebody who can play anywhere down the left-hand side. And when she plays well, Arsenal will always prosper. And the same goes for Alessia Russo as well. Only 1 goal in the WSL so far following her move from Manchester United. But she loves scoring and playing against Leicester City. A hat-trick for Manchester United in a 5-1 success against the Foxes last season. And Leicester City will be hoping to cause another upset on a day of surprises so far in the Women's Super League. But it's always a difficult task facing the Gunners. Leicester City against Arsenal coming up. And here at the King Power Stadium, the Women's Super League action continues. Leicester City against Arsenal. And this is an opportunity for the Gunners to move up into 2nd place in the table. But Leicester, of course, made an excellent start to the season. But they are 3 games without a victory, including that 2-1 loss at Liverpool last weekend. Arsenal, of course, have not really clicked into gear. They'll be waiting for the likes of Vivianne Miedema and Beth Mead to maybe regain full fitness to really show what they're made of. But they are winning games, which is a good sign in a team chasing a title. 3 successive 2-1 victories, not always entirely convincing, but that big win against Manchester City last week, for all sorts of reasons, will have really lifted their spirits. But the Leicester fans here have often arrived at the King Power Stadium knowing it is a difficult task against the big guns, and the Gunners are certainly in that category. But as the two teams emerge for the start of the game here, Leicester are a side growing in confidence at the very highest level. And Jonas Eidevall knows his team will have to get every single detail right here this evening. And here are the two teams. Willie Kirk has chosen to make two tactical changes and has opted for the experience of Janice Cayman and the pace of Deanne Rose, with Josie Green and Missy Goodwin dropping to the bench following the 2-1 loss at Liverpool. Cayman and Sophie Howard have been paired together to try and deal with the threat of Alicia Russo, who scored a hat-trick against Leicester last season. Arsenal are without Kim Little and Leah Volti due to injury, so Australian international Kyra Cooney-Cross makes her full debut in the Women's Super League, and Frida Marnham, who scored home and away against Leicester last season, they come into midfield. Beth Mead and Vivian Miedemar continue their comebacks from the bench, where they're joined by 17-year-old striker Viviane Leah. And good numbers here at the King Power Stadium this evening for this game. And there will be expectation that the home side can maintain the improvement they've shown in many games so far this season. Arsenal have had two big victories here in recent years, but it may be a different story here tonight. And before the game gets underway, there will be a pre-match ceremony to mark Remembrance Sunday here in the United Kingdom.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
And these scenes replicated inside football stadiums and beyond across the United Kingdom this weekend. Chloe Lacasse, Canadian opposition for her tonight in the shape of Deanne Rose, a player who was signed from Portuguese football and scored a very late goal in the draw at Manchester United at the start of the season. And the other Canadian involved for Leicester City, Deanne Rose, who joined after relegation with Reading last season. A player who has won Olympic gold with her country. Now hoping to help improve Leicester City. Stacey Fullix is our referee for this game. And Sam Tierney, the Leicester captain, leading the team talk. And Jonas Edeval has enjoyed 2 huge victories here in recent seasons, but Leicester do look to be made of sterner stuff now. Arsenal have the opportunity to move into second place in the table, but to do that they need to beat an improving Leicester City side who have got this game underway in the blue shirts, defending the goal away to our left in the first half. And very quickly Leicester are caught out by Arsenal's high line. And without Kim Little in the Arsenal midfield, it will be interesting to see who takes that sort of creative responsibility. Catley. And she's closed down by Rose, who will have to do her share of defensive responsibility as well. Russo losing out. First opportunity for Rose to try and get the ball forward. Came out. But Arsenal do have the throw-in. And Arsenal are yet to keep a clean sheet in all competitions this season in 7 games, and that included a 3-1 success against Bristol City in the WSL Cup during the midweek. Ford was looking to turn towards goal, but Leicester clear. Rose has Petterman in support. Rose has done well. And the switch of play from Ranteler, but Arsenal were wise to that. And Ford in pursuit, but she won't get that. Leicester have lost all 4 previous meetings in the Women's Super League. Arsenal scoring 14 times without reply. Marnham, Ford, Catley and Blackstenius all on the score sheet here last season in a 4-0 success. And it was 5-0 towards the end of the 21-22 season. Tobin Heath rounding off the scoring that day. Ruben Moy into Rousseau, but it bounces kindly for Tierney. Thibault. Tierney. Now came on, but it's behind Rose. Shanice Cayman, a player who has really seen it and done it, arriving from Lyon after enjoying so much success in French football. Has also won titles in the United States as well, and at the age of 35, Willie Kirk clearly believes she still has plenty to offer. Marnham has scored 4 times in 4 games against Leicester, and she's not managed more than a single goal against any other opponent in the Women's Super League. McCabe. Well, that's a dangerous ball, and it's cut out by Bott. She can advance on goal here, and she's got support. The shot was deflected and it's gone behind. A corner kick's been given. Amanda Illerstedt got the final touch on that. Given away by McCabe, and it was Cayman who let fly. Leicester have the game's first corner. Russo looking to take care of Courtney Nevin. Delivered by Rantala, and it was flicked on by Cayman at the near post. And she was looking for a corner, but a goal kick's been given. Arsenal beating Aston Villa, Bristol City, and maybe more notably Manchester City, all by 2-1 after only 1 point in their opening 2 games against Liverpool and Manchester United. Ford, but that's covered well by Thibault, but it's quickly won back by Marnham, and the shot squirts away off Thibault, and Arsenal have their first corner. And Thibault giving the ball away cheaply there to Marnham. And this already has the look of a very open game. And the corner flicked on at the near post by Russo, but behind for a goal kick. And the delivery from Kyra Cooney-Cross, making her full debut in the WSL this evening. It was really more of a fight ball for Russo, who is now being told by the referee to vacate the penalty area. Janina Leitzing, the German goalkeeper, was such a good signing made in January, and her form was a major reason for Leicester's survival last season. Oh, but they've given the ball away very cheaply again. Here is Russo. It's behind Ford. Now Russo again. Catley. Cooney-Cross. Ilestedt. She was caught late, but Arsenal will continue here with Lacasse. Russo. Ruben Moy looking for the width of Ford. Catley on the overlap. But with a crucial touch, and it's dealt with by Rose in the end. Clearance only finding Catley again. Russo. Cooney-Cross. And she was caught by Cayman. And the referee has come back and given the free kick, and that's good officiating. And that was a challenge which said, "Welcome to the Women's Super League" from Janice Cayman on Kyra Cooney-Cross. And Arsenal do get the set piece. And Cooney-Cross is over it. Signed from Hammarby, but she did win the A-League previously with Melbourne as a youngster. Cooney-Cross with the free kick. And it's long, and the header towards goal is fumbled by Leitzing. And then the rebound from Ruben Moy is wide. And Arsenal with a double chance there inside the penalty area. And the first one for Russo. And Leitzing did just enough, and then Ruben Moy was looking to apply the finish. Russo shouldn't really have got the header in from there. She was heavily outnumbered, and it was the goalkeeper who then made an excellent save to redeem the earlier error. The corner is deep again, fisted clear by Leitzing. Rose. No real support for her, looking to shrug off Palova. And it's Catley who comes in to make the challenge. Katie McCabe only just back to her feet. She was challenged there by Rose, and she maybe left something on her as she looked to lead the counter-attack. And that's going to be the key confrontation this evening. Two very quick and combative players. Petterman. No free kick this time. Leicester. Russo coming short again, and only just, but she finds Marnham. Caitlin Ford. She continues beyond the challenge of Cayman. It's a poor ball in the end, and both teams are rather giving the ball away with regularity in the opening 10 minutes or so. Thibault can't really afford to give the ball away there, and she doesn't. Howard. She's penned in by Lacasse, but Leicester do have the throw-in. Arsenal again win it back very high up the field, but the shot ripples the side netting. And they are giving up so many chances here, Leicester, and it was Palova this time. Went for the near post and just grazed the outside of it. And the Dutch international, the latest to be the beneficiary of Leicester trying to play the ball out and then giving the ball up cheaply. But now Howard going longer. Rantala. Tierney. Rose. This a possibility for Leicester. Up towards Petterman, and McCabe will step in before Kane. But then it's won back well by Nevin. Rantala again. Kane. That's an interesting cross, and Cayman was almost on the end of it. And Leicester do have the height and the power if they choose to use that route. Cayman wasn't too far away again. It's an Arsenal throw-in. Leicester won their opening two games against Everton and Liverpool. Then they had a notable draw at Manchester United when they briefly led in that game before a narrow loss here against Manchester City and another narrow defeat against Liverpool as Tierney plays the ball in, and Arsenal are able to clear, but they'll be aware already in this game that Leicester look to be in some sort of decent form as Rose looks to win it back from Catley, but Wooben Moy will shepherd the ball behind. The clearance there from Wooben Moy initially giving Tierney the opportunity to work the ball into the penalty area. And from that moment, Arsenal were never quite sure of themselves, and Willie Kirk did say before the game that he senses that Arsenal are maybe still a work in progress at this relatively early stage of the season, post-World Cup, and with big-name players still to come back to full fitness following injury. Of course, Miedemar and Mead on the bench this evening, and Williamson still doing her rehab. Palova. And here is Russo. And she's quickly closed down by Hannah Kane. And Serena Wiegman, the England coach, is here this evening. And a number of players will be on her radar. Thibault. And now Howard. It's rather scooped away by Ellisted. And the home crowd are very much up for this. Willie Kirk himself has not won a game as a coach against Arsenal since 2014, which was his very first attempt. Since then, it's 2 draws and 11 defeats, including the last 8. Thibault. Now Kane looking to use her pace again, and she goes down, but Rantaler will continue. Cayman waiting in the centre. It was an excellent ball in, and it's scrambled behind by Catley for a corner. Rantaler only really had Cayman to aim at, but it was right through that corridor of uncertainty, which is why Catley had to play it and put it behind. Courtney Nevin will take the corner kick, and it's very deep, but it's guided clear by Ilestedt. Rantaler. Nevin has stayed wide, and now she works the 1-2 nicely with Cayman, and the cross will test Zinsberger, who's not equal to it initially, but there were teammates around. Now Palova. More straight to Cayman. Kane almost took that ball down superbly, and then Russo has failed, and it will be a free kick. Not from there, though. But again, Leicester working this nicely, and it was a testing ball in from Nevin, and Zinsberger's fumble. And she'll have been grateful that Ilestedt was the closest player to her, although her clearance wasn't too far away from Sophie Howard. And just off the ball there was a challenge inside the penalty area involving Frida Marnham and Hannah Kane, and Kane did have a quizzical look towards the referee. While the treatment has been given out, Willie Kirk has the opportunity to just get his team in and have 1 or 2 words. And he's always been a coach who has encouraged bravery in possession. And Jonas Cedeval has 1 or 2 issues to consider here. And Alessia Russo once again is doing so much of her work some way from the penalty area, looking to link the play. Ilestedt looks to be okay. Ruben Moy will take the free kick. And it's ultimately met by Howard. Russo. And Howard was just holding on, so it will be a free kick. And Arsenal can load the penalty area here. Cooney Cross and Catley, the two Australians, are over it. That's Cooney Cross's delivery, looking for Ruben Moy, who attacked that bravely, but it was an even braver header away from Sophie Howard, who really felt that. And the referee will just check on the head injury. Two players who only had eyes for the ball. Howard is okay to try and play the ball out again, but it's not finding the intended target. It's a brave approach, but at times it can be a risky one. McCabe. Now Marnham. Palova. Marnham again. And Arsenal will settle for another corner. Leicester is forward, and she has the plan for Russo. Catley will take it in towards Russo, but met firmly by Howard. Cooney Cross. Just forced back. But here is McCabe. And it's flicked on, but gathered by Leitzing. Howard. Nevin. Lost out to Lacasse. Ruben Moy. Leicester again are defending well in that sort of area. And they're looking for the out ball and the pace of Rose. And we are beyond the midpoint of the first half, and Willie Kirk may believe it's been a pretty even game. CJ Bott will deliver the throw-in. Just beyond Rose, but Ruben Moy will have to deal with this. And Catley was closed down by Cayman, so Arsenal will have the throw-in. And Arsenal have scored a flurry of late goals so far this season. So it's worth sticking with this game right to the very end, whatever happens. They've scored 4 times after the 87th minute in games, and those goals have been worth 6 points so far. McCabe. Good recovery challenge from Hannah Kane. Russo. She's got support from Lacasse. Palova. And Palova's done well to find Marnham. There was a player over on this near side. It was Catley, but Arsenal don't find her initially. Palova. And it's Petterman who is back defending. Kane. Unable to spin away from McCabe. Rantala. And now Cooney cross. And the game has had a really good tempo so far. And although Arsenal have had more shots on goal, only 2 of those have been on target. They've had 6. Leicester have had a couple and so far haven't really forced Manuela Zinsberger into a save. So Willie Kirk will be happy with the general play, although they could be in trouble here. Russo. Good covering by Thibaut. And now there is the possibility for a break. Tierney, Kane, Petterman and Rose are waiting, but Kane just taking her time to bring the ball under control. Thibaut. And the calibre of players that Leicester have signed this season has really gone up a notch or two, and Julie Thibaut is part of that, signed from Bordeaux. And they had a very strong team in the French league a couple of years ago, but they've since gone for a policy of looking to develop young players and lower the wage bill, which is why players like Thibaut have moved on. Howard. But players like Sophie Howard will be well aware that the concentration levels have to be absolutely 100% in a game like this. Leicester have already had 1 or 2 hard luck stories this season, games which have been lost narrowly. And here is Ford, space for her, and the shot deflected onto the roof of the netting. It was a brilliant recovery challenge. CJ Bott recovering the ground. From the moment Lacasse found Ford, she looked to be the favourite to get the shot away, but Bott did really well to get the lunge in and get the crucial touch as well. Ford. Cooney cross. That's a smart turn, and eventually the challenge comes in, but it's a corner. And Jutta Rantala has had an excellent start to this game. Corner in towards Russo at the near post. It was won by Howard. Almost drops towards Russo. Thibaut with the header away. Palova. And that's an excellent ball. And Arsenal could be in here. Doesn't quite break for Ford, and Rantala has the opportunity to bring it forward. But McCabe strong enough to win it back from Bott. And here is Marnham, but the flag is raised for offside. And it's a fairly clear-cut decision. Steph Catley was still trying to get back from the previous attack, but we've seen CJ Bott have the confidence to carry the ball forward from the back on a number of occasions so far. And we've spoken about Arsenal's desire to move second in the table this evening, but if Leicester win, they'll be level on points with the Gunners. And Leicester finished 10th last season, 5 points clear of Reading, having lost their opening 9 games. And Willie Kirk came in to replace Lydia Bedford last November, having originally been the director of football. And they had that narrow escape in their debut season, 2 points clear of Birmingham. And that was basically because they beat them twice. The Leicester are aside, looking upwards now. Howard. Now Cooney cross. And Thibaut going all the way back to Leitzing. Well, it was a great opportunity, and it was another gift. Janina Leitzing giving it straight to Victoria Pelova. She had players in support. She could have given Russo a tap-in, but she went for the delicate lob and failed to hit the target. How many chances are Arsenal going to spurn? Tierney. Now Bott. Rose looking to make the run in behind, but the challenge comes in from Ford. Well, Victoria Pelova yet to score this season. She could have had a couple here tonight already. Thibaut. Now Howard. Leitzing leaving a penalty area, but Howard is able to go longer this time. Petterman in pursuit with Kane. Ruben Moy coming across. And Petterman almost won it back. McCabe. And it's a pretty rare touch for Zinsberger. Now Ilestedt, the Swede signed from Paris Saint-Germain. Rousseau looking to hold off Howard, and Arsenal do have the free kick. But this is the chance for... But it's very important for Leicester to get to half-time with their 2-0 lead intact. And they will try and patch up Lena Petterman, because her presence in attack is crucial to the way they want to play. And Leicester will give the ball back to the Gunners, who have seen plenty of it in the first half, but have failed to score as the treatment continues for Lena Petterman off the field of play. And there we are, Arsenal with more shots on target. Leicester have had 2, and they've scored them both. Lansing's clearance. Cayman. And Petterman is back in the action. Rose, who almost scored before Leicester did score. Bott. Well, the home crowd want another before half-time. Catley. CJ Bott will take the throw-in. Petterman. Bott looking to go beyond Ford, and she has done. And she's found Petterman, who had the opportunity to pull it back, but it was blocked by Palova. And it will be another Leicester corner. And Arsenal are all over the place here. We spoke about Leicester needing to get to half-time at 2-0. Arsenal may have a similar opinion. It's another corner kick. Nevin will take it. Zinsberger stays on her line. Ilestead with the clearance. And now Lacasse will try and move the ball away from Rantala, and she's got support from Palova in the centre. But Lacasse goes all the way, but in the end the cross lacks any sort of menace, and Leicester can clear. Rose. And there will be a minimum of 7 more minutes. We have had 1 or 2 lengthy injury delays. And Leicester, who had only scored 1 first-half goal this season before tonight, have come up with 2 against Arsenal. But Leicester have been aggressive in the right areas. And they've earned those 2 goals on the back of some real hard work. And Arsenal, who have lost 2 of their previous 6 away games in the Women's Super League, will need to produce something special in the second half to avoid it 3 of the last 7. Rose. Oh, the back heel finds Kane, and Leicester can do no wrong at the moment. Here is Kane again. Nevin in support, but she goes for goal, and it's too high. Janice Cayman really showing her vision there, and it looked for a moment that Kane could have really advanced on goal, but she thought better of it and tried to go for the spectacular. Russo. And she was pulled down. It's a free kick. And it was Sophie Howard who did her best to stop her by means fair or foul. And of course Arsenal will look a very different team when Williamson, Mead and Miedema are all fully fit again, but they have to be competitive in the meantime. McCabe. But Kane was hauled down before that, and it will be a free kick. And she was eager again to try and win that ball back, and Palova, who had that great chance to make it 1-0, concedes the free kick, and Jonas Edeval will be already composing his half-time thoughts. Cooney cross. She works the 1-2 with Ford and then gets the free kick. Still 3.5 minutes of added time in this first half as the yellow card was shown there. And it was Janice Cayman who just took her down, and she gets a yellow card to add to her goal. But a free kick, Ruben Moyes over it. Marnham. So many Arsenal players have been knocked off the ball tonight. Tierney this time winning it back for Leicester. Ruben Moy. Back to Zinsberger. Marnham. Cooney cross. She was looking for the run in behind from Lacasse, and now she gets it back from Palova. Palova's got 3 to pick out with the cross, but only finds Courtney Nevin. Get the ball to Hannah Kane seems to be the Leicester game plan at the moment, but Arsenal were wise to it on this occasion. Lacasse, Russo. Cooney cross. Now Catley. It's boomed away, Cayman. Bott. And here is Kane again. And that was the only way that Lacasse could stop her, and that will be a yellow card as well. And the willingness of Hannah Kane just to run and run and run has been a real issue for Arsenal. And Chloe Lacasse quickly joins Janice Cayman in the referee's notebook, and Leicester may have one final set piece in what has been a dream first half for them. Nevin with the free kick. Met initially by Ford, but Leicester will get the ball back. Bott. Wide to that avenue of opportunity for Leicester down the left again, but Arsenal are able to clear this time. But Lacasse doesn't go beyond Tierney. And we have played the original 7 minutes here. And that is half-time, and the Leicester crowd rise to acclaim their team. An extraordinary first half. Victoria Pelova with one of several chances for Arsenal, but then they fell behind. Sam Tierney heading in, a flick on from Lena Pettersson, and 2 minutes later Janice Cayman with the second goal after some brilliant work from Hannah Kane. And Arsenal, who came into this game with hopes of going second in the table, trail Leicester City by 2-0 at half-time. And here are the first half highlights from the Barclays Women's Super League game between Leicester City and Arsenal. And it was Leicester who went close first. CJ Bott with the interception and Janice Cayman with the effort, which was deflected behind off Amanda Ilestedt. And that was a taste of things to come for Arsenal here this evening. But they did create so many chances themselves. Kyra Cooney-Cross with the free kick in. It was the header from Russo initially, which was fumbled by Leitzing, and then Wubin Moy's effort was repelled by the goalkeeper. And Arsenal at this stage were looking fairly comfortable. Good header from Russo. Leitzing should have really dealt with it and then made a fine stop. And then Arsenal with another effort, and it was Victoria Pelova who struck the ball with some power but just grazed the outside of the post. And Arsenal, for much of the first half, dominated possession and created so many chances. Caitlin Ford on this occasion, but CJ Bott did brilliantly to get across and ensure that the ball looped onto the roof of the netting. Ford was open here, And she was found by Lacasse, but Bott really ate up the ground to ensure she came across. And maybe this was the turn. And here are the first half stats. Arsenal with 9 shots, but only 3 of those on target. Possession 50-50. That says so much about Leicester City's hard work. Arsenal, though, will look back on those missed opportunities when they were 0-0. But Leicester, from the moment they scored, they have looked like a team who have deserved to be in the lead. Janice came in with 3 shots so far and the second goal, the only one on target, but she has used all of her experience to really aid Leicester City on her return to the team. And when Janice came in this sort of form, Leicester City will be a difficult proposition for so many sides in the Women's Super League. And earlier this afternoon, Liverpool travelled to Brisbane Road to face a Tottenham side who were unbeaten in their last 5 matches at home. Your commentator at this one was Ben Andrews.
Neville with a bit of space here, just too much on the cross, but Angarad James is arriving. That's a good hit. Interesting to see where that was going. It's off Jenna Clark for a corner. Bending towards the corner. Artinen flights it in towards the crowd, and that's Neville rising highest in that crowd to get her head on it. Liverpool haven't got going yet. Maybe something now. Tottenham edging it. Very little between these two, and here comes Fisk, and this is promising. Oh, that's a great ball, and it's a great chance. Hauck's put it over. Still waiting for that first Liverpool goal, the big summer signing, and that's a good chance. Spencer under pressure, Hines under pressure, and BZ has nicked it off her, and off she goes. Straight line run here as Thomas clears the path, and Bizet hits the shot all the way in. What a goal that is from inside her own half. Tottenham in front, Celine Bizet with a brilliant individual goal. Power and determination, and then watch the run of Martha Thomas. Takes Jenna Clark with her, clears the way, still needed finishing, and it's a brilliant finish. Bizet with her first of the season. Tottenham 1, Liverpool 0. Really nicely done. Challenge coming in from Holland, but it still falls here for Bizet again. Good hit! Oh, it's off the crossbar via a big chunk of Jenna Clark. This could have gone anywhere, including in her own net. So close. Thomas, dainty little chip. That's Graham. That was absolutely worth spinning and shooting. Nearly dipped in. The flick well won. Van der Sanden gets it out to Jana Daniels, who's only just come on here. How's the cross? Oh, it's dangerous. Haug! 1-1. Huge moment in the game, and for Sophie Roman Haug. Her first Liverpool goal. First involvement for Jana Daniels is a pinpoint assist, and it's a pinpoint header too. 1-1 at Brisbane Road. Nothing between these two again. Both sides really going for it here. Will there be a winner? Here's Jessica Naz just off the bench. It's her against Bonner. Naz with the shot. Laws with the save. Oh, and then a heavy touch from Bizet. And Liverpool will clear. What an introduction this would have been for Jessica Naz. Low corner, and Neville, and it just bobbles wide for a goal kick. Nothing between them at kick-off, nor now. That's awkward. Oh, it's even more awkward now. Spencer's lost it. Flint's in there. Becky Spencer has done well to not make any contact here with Flint. There's a little bit on it from Amy Turner there. That's why Spencer didn't grab it. No foul, no goal either. Kearns. Around the back is Gemma Bonner. Oh, what a chance to win it. Difficult skill. She's missed the target. And 1-1 it stays.
So a draw at Brisbane Road this afternoon. Earlier on, Manchester United beating West Ham by 5 goals to 0. But Manchester City, a real shock, losing 1-0 at home to Brighton. Lee Gwyn-Min with a late winning goal. Chelsea were comfortable at Everton, winning by 3 goals to 0. Sam Kerr on the score sheet. And Aston Villa, their first win, 2-0 at Bristol City. And of course, Arsenal currently 2 down against Leicester. So, as it stands, Chelsea will be 4 points clear at the top ahead of Manchester United, and Arsenal will be below Leicester in the table. Leicester moving into the top half if it stays as it is, and Bristol City are now bottom of the table. Of course, they are losing today to Aston Villa by 2 goals to 0. We will have the second half from the King Power Stadium underway very shortly. And welcome back to the King Power Stadium. A real story here. Leicester City leading Arsenal by 2 goals to 0 at half-time, and the Foxes will be making a change. Missy Goodwin will be coming on, the 20-year-old who scored against Liverpool last week. She will be coming on. Willie Kirk left her out for tactical reasons, and what's happened so far would seemingly justify that. And Goodwin, another player who can cause real problems going forward, and it's Deanne Rose who makes way. She had one great chance in the first half, but Goodwin will come on for her down the left-hand side. Arsenal with a real job to do at the King Power Stadium. Get the second half underway, trailing Leicester City by 2-0. And they are quickly on the attack in their red shirts. The cross in from Lacasse is, again, not really causing an issue. Leicester making a change at half-time. Deanne Rose making way for Missy Goodwin, who started and scored in the defeat against Liverpool. And Willie Kirk made changes for a tactical reason, which have been entirely justified by what's happened in the game so far. And Jonas Cedeval has had 15 minutes in which to come up with a game plan to get Arsenal back into this game, and they'll be helped by that sort of distribution from Janina Leitzing. And Beth Mead is warming up, and that's no real surprise. Marnham. But it's quickly cut out by Howard. Hillestead. Ruben Moy. Ford. Catley ahead of her. But Leicester now have something to hold on to, and they've only conceded 6 goals at home in the Women's Super League in the calendar year. And that's in a run of 4 wins, 1 draw and 3 defeats. And that's a real contrast to what happened in the previous time at home in the Women's Super League, when they let in 43 goals in 16 games. Of course, Arsenal enjoyed 2 big wins here. Leicester conceded 9 at home to Chelsea a couple of seasons ago as well. But Arsenal, who do have Miedemar and Mead on the bench, have a problem to solve. Of course, without Kim Little this evening. And that sort of leadership has really been missing at times. Goodwin. Looking for Pettersson. But it's guided back by Ruben Moy. Palova. Hillestead. Oh, she waits on the ball, and she's given the ball away to Pettersson. Rantala. Pettersson again. Kane. And she works the 1-2 with the Finn. But it breaks down on the edge of the area, but Arsenal very quickly give it back. Rantala. Goodwin coming in field. It's Missy Goodwin. It's deflected, and in the end it's claimed by Manuela Zinsberger. But Arsenal 2 goals down and far from convincing here. Catley applied the finish. There's a problem here for Sophie Howard, and they will try and continue treatment off the field. Kane. And she crumples under the challenge of McCabe, but no free kick given. And Arsenal hungry here. Ford. Rousseau ahead of her, but she's got support from Marnham. And it's a good challenge from Thibault. And the complexion of this game has completely changed. Petterman. And the pressure from Ruben Moy is appreciated by Jonas Cedeval. And Bott losing out to Ford. And Arsenal think they have the free kick, but it looks like Ford is the player who's been penalised. Well, you can take your pick, really. Ford with the initial contact before she was caught by Bott. Thibault will take the free kick. And if you've just joined us, where have you been? Arsenal were 2 goals down at half-time. But they very quickly come back to level. Kane looking to go beyond McCabe. And the cross-in is cleared now. 4 goals in 12 minutes. And Arsenal score at least 4 at the King Power Stadium for the 3rd successive season. And it's all gone wrong for Leicester City here. This was the challenge on Goodwin. And it was Russo who made it. And the penalty appeals were waved away. Goodwin is now back on her feet. And it's a very, very different game. Here is Lacasse. And Arsenal, who were maybe thinking about bringing on Miedemar and Mead to try and rescue this game, could give them minutes with the match won. Pullover. McCabe. Here is Ford. Russo waits in the centre, but it's behind her and it's cleared away by Rantanen. But this was the 4th goal. And Pullover teed up by Lacasse, who also has a goal and an assist now. And there was a yellow card in that as well for Sam Tierney for dissent, as Arsenal were celebrating their 4th goal. Russo. And here is Ilestead. And Arsenal are flagged offside. And here is the top of the Barclays Women's Super League as it stands. Arsenal 3 points behind Chelsea if it stays like this. At half-time, Leicester were above Arsenal and the Gunners were down in 7th, but a flurry of goals has completely changed the picture. And Arsenal are now going to bring on 3 internationals: Mead, Blackstenius and Hurtig. Here is Pullover. And it was Russo coming in to try and make it 5. And Lacasse eventually loses out to Thibault. Catley. And when you have teams like Arsenal in the situation Leicester did at half-time, you've got to make sure you are defensively secure and not give them a sniff, and Leicester have been wide open in the second half. Russo in pursuit again, but Thibaut gets there first. And there were 11.5 minutes between Arsenal's first goal and the fourth one. Russo now has 5 goals and 2 assists against Leicester in less than 3 games. And Arsenal going to make their changes. Frida Maanum is the first player to make way. Beth Mead will continue her comeback from her ACL. Stina Blackstenius will also come on. Caitlin Ford goes off, having played her part. And Lena Hurtig also comes on. So an England international and 2 Swedish internationals have come on for Arsenal. Even with the injuries they have, they've got immense depth in their squad. Chloe Lacasse was the other player to go off for Arsenal in that flurry of changes. Confirmation of them at the top of your picture. Ruben Moy. Cooney cross, smartly away from the challenge, and she lets fly. Leitzing with the parry, and Blackstenius first touch, and it was almost goal number 5. Well, she came on and scored a dramatic winning goal last week against Manchester City, Stina Blackstenius. A goal tonight wouldn't quite carry the same drama now. Well, not at this stage anyway. Mead. She did start in the win against Bristol City in the WSL Cup in midweek. And this her 4th appearance from the bench in the Women's Super League since her ACL injury last November. And she hasn't scored in the competition since last September in the North London derby. Kane. And the resolve that Leicester showed in the first half has now melted away. Mead. Now McCabe. Hurtig. And Arsenal have the overload once again. It's Mead. Blackstenius in support. The cross is driven. And both Leitzing and Bott got touches on that, and it will be a corner. But Arsenal here can help themselves every time they come forward. And desperate fingertips of the goalkeeper, and then the header of the defender. Cooney cross delivering in, it's flicked on by Hurtig, and it's off the crossbar. Again, Leicester not dealing with the movement from the corner. Always so good in that sort of situation. Leicester are making a change. And it's Jutta Ranttila who goes off. And it's the player who takes the captain's armband, Aileen Whelan, who comes on in her 10th WSL season. Did score in that draw at Manchester United. And Leicester needs something pretty special here in the final 20 minutes. 2 goals up at half-time, but now 4-2 down. Russo, and the volley is wide, and that was almost the big moment for Beth Mead. And she'll be confident of adding to her record of 42 assists in the Women's Super League, the way this game is panning out at the moment. And she was picked up by Russo there. Nevin. And Nevin's error to allow Lacasse to score the opening goal for Arsenal. Another turning point in a game which has had a few. Mead. McCabe. And Howard looking to try and be expansive at a difficult time in the game. Hurtig. Through to Blackstenius. Hurtig waits in the centre, so too does Russo and Mead. And she goes down, and it's a goal kick. It was Thibault who made the challenge. Blackstenius timing a run perfectly. And Thibault doing just enough. And she got the ball. Manuela Zinsberger has been pretty much a spectator from the moment Arsenal scored their first goal. And at the moment, Leicester do look a beaten side. And the disappointment for Willie Kirk will be the manner of the goals. Arsenal have been ruthless, but Leicester have been very accommodating defensively in the second half. Russo. And that home game with Chelsea is looming. Arsenal travel to Brighton next. And then they have, on the 10th of December, the home game with Chelsea. Following the international break. And Leicester at home to Spurs in their next game. And then they have to go to Chelsea as well. And Willie Kirk has that familiar sinking feeling against Arsenal. This will be his 9th successive defeat against them as a coach. And his record will be 2 draws and 12 defeats since he beat them in his first game as coach against Arsenal back in 2014. Don't make them angry. But in the second half, Arsenal have really clicked into gear. Mead. Russo. Mida continued her run, but was probably offside, and Russo apologises. McCabe. And having conceded 6 goals at home in the previous 8 games in the Women's Super League, Leicester have let in 5 in the second half here. McCabe. Oh, Blackstenius claims she was fouled on the turn, and she's got the free kick. Caught by Thibault. And she is some player to bring off the bench. Arsenal have been very clinical in the second half, and Leicester have not been able to get near them. Here is Hurtig again with a burst, and this time Thibault is able to make the challenge. And whatever Jonas Edeval said at half-time, it's certainly worked. And there's a problem for Hannah Kane, who was such a good player in the first half. And there are going to be more changes for the home side. Ava Baker and Josie Green will be coming on along with Amy Palmer. And Hannah Kane is the first player to be withdrawn. Ava Baker, 17 years of age in England, under 19 international. Does have a goal in the Women's Super League, the winner at Brighton at the end of last season. Sophie Howard, who picked up a knock earlier, will be replaced by the Welsh international Josie Green. And CJ Bott will also make way for Amy Palmer. He was part of the Manchester United side, which was promoted to the Women's Super League a few years ago. Russo. Now McCabe. Hurtig again. Blackstenius is waiting, but Hurtig goes herself, and it's turned onto the post by Leipzig. Well, Cayman and Leicester looking to break themselves here. Good win. And she's got support from Whelan. Goodwin looking to go alone, but she's knocked off it by Mead. And Blackstenius is flagged offside. Well, she was inside her own half. Thibault. Whelan. And Leitzing able to clear. But Arsenal are still Keen to plump up their goal difference here. And the free kick's given for the foul on Russo. Arsenal's goal difference is currently +5. And Chelsea's, after their victory over Everton, is +14. And that gap will take some closing. McCabe is over the free kick, but it's Cooney Cross with a delivery, and the bodies went tumbling, but nobody gets the touch. Nevin. And Goodwin unable to gather. Well, after 3 2-1 victories, Arsenal have really cut loose here. 5 goals in the second half after 8 goals in their opening 5 games. And Cooney Cross, the player who has been caught. And Willie Kirk, when he looks back on the video of this game, will find a good deal to assess, and he's maybe already started that. Cooney Cross. Ruben Moy. Russo. Leicester's high line could be punished again here. Hurtig. Blackstenius. Palova. She had Mead in support. Still Palova. Now Blackstenius. Side netting. And Leicester are chasing shadows at times. And Palova twisting and turning, but in the end, it's an opportunity which Blackstenius misses, which is a rarity in that sort of position. Whelan. Here is Mead. Palova. Goodwin does well. Petterman. Whelan. And it was behind Tierney. And Cooney Cross is still full of running. And now the fresh legs of Hurtig. Oh, but Cayman's done well. And the youngster Baker was involved. And Tierney unable to find her. And it's been a very steep learning curve for some of Leicester's players in the second half. This has been the ultimate game of 2 halves. Mead. McCabe. Palova. Hurtig again. And a fellow Swede, Blackstenius, was lurking, but Hurtig losing out on this occasion. Ruben Moy with the clearance. Ilestedt. Cayman. And Green going all the way back to Leicester. Nevin. Leicester just getting the touch, but Ruben Moy was covering. Now McCabe. She's just lost out. And she was tangling there with Nevin, but Leicester still a long way from goal. Thibaut. Nevin. Baker. But she only found Steph Catley, and it will be an Arsenal throw-in, and we are in the 89th minute. And Arsenal about to make more changes late in the game. Catherine Kuhl was one of the players who was preparing to come on. So no sign of Vivian Miedema. And they're being very careful with her reintegration to the team. And there was a late challenge there, but the referee does eventually bring play back. The flag, in fact, was raised for offside. Nevin. Goodwin. And the Leicester fans beginning to drift away. They had so much hope at half-time after what was a brilliant performance from their team. 2 goals up. Arsenal looking shaken, but it's been a very different story. Here is Whelan, and now Baker, but she's offside. And she did have some space there, but she was offside. And there will be a minimum of 10 more minutes. Here is Whelan. And now Thibaut. Well, a good deal can happen in 10 minutes of playing time. Arsenal may view it as the opportunity to add to their tally, and Leicester have not really looked like scoring in the second half. Alicia Russo, of course, did find the back of the net, the equaliser. She also made Arsenal's third. She was picked up. Strong hand from the German. And Kyra Cooney Cross's full debut comes to an end. And Noelle Maritz comes on to replace her. And Noelle Maritz, someone who never lets Arsenal down. Player born in the United States, but of course a full Swiss international. Mead. Kuhl Palova. Now Ruben Moy. Palova again. It's a smart turn from her. First involvement for Moritz. And they're queuing up in the centre. And it's glanced away by Cayman. Now Hurtig. Catley. Palova. She's had an excellent second half, and she's found Hurtig, and she is clean through. Blackstenius in support, but she doesn't need her. Lena Hurtig makes it 6-2. And it's her first goal in the Women's Super League. And Leicester City's resolve has finally melted away. Hurtig allowed to stride through. And Blackstenius. 6 goals, 6 different scorers. And Lena Hurtig the latest. A Canadian, an English international, an Australian, a Dutch international, and now 2 Swedish internationals have all scored for Arsenal. And their League of Nations have really come together in the second half. McCabe. And we're into the 100th minute. And Leicester just want to drag themselves off the field of play here. And Palova has had such a good second half after her miss in the first half at 0-0, which looked so costly. And what on earth does Willie Kirk say after this? It'll be fascinating to hear what Jonas Edeval said during the half-time interval, or whether it was a case of the players just taking responsibility and stepping things up. Whelan. It's worked square by Palmer. Tierney. Baker. And the cross in is claimed by Zinsberger. And that could be the final act as we tick towards the 102nd minute. Arsenal's powers of recovery in the second half were quite remarkable. 2 goals down. They came out and responded with 6 goals. Lacasse, Russo, Ford, Palova, Blackstenius and Hurtig. Alicia Russo played her part with another goal and an assist against Leicester City. And Willie Kirk, whose team were superb in the first half, saw them unable to cope with Arsenal's power in the second half. The big names really came to the fore, and as a result, Arsenal are up to second place in the Women's Super League table. It is some story, and it's one which will take some telling. The ultimate game of two halves. It is finished. Leicester City 2, Arsenal 6. And here are the highlights of this Barclays Women's Super League game.